In this video, I talk a little bit about the foster child of evidential mediumship, which is the message. The message in an evidential link is the part where the spirit communicator is conveying his individual message to the sitter. It can be considered as the most important part of the link, but frequently this is not the case. On the contrary, the message is the most underrated and most underdeveloped part in our practice. There are several reasons for that. One of them, and the most common, or let's say the most basic, is that evidential mediumship derives from spiritualism, which is a religion and has services. During these services, as we all know, there are public demonstrations of mediumship, of evidential mediumship, usually twice a week, Wednesday or Sunday or whatever, and there are quite a few churches around in the spiritualist community, and every church has a demand for a new medium every week so that people don't get bored. That means the spiritualist community needs a lot of platform mediums. And most of the training is based upon that need of the system. During a platform reading, a good and deep message is something not really too appropriate. First of all, there's not enough time, and second, it's an open and public space, so private matters shouldn't be discussed there. Most development courses and classes stop short there. That's it. Albeit in a private setting, the message is very much appropriate and should be the biggest part of the reading. But the problem is, of course, how to convey the opinions and the love of the communicator and the spirit world in a correct manner. We have to understand that the evidences in a link are nothing but memory, and are thereby, of course, a communication from soul to soul, from the spirit world to the mind of the medium, but they are based upon clear precepts that you have to deliver. The cause of the passing, the house, the car, the family, and so on. This is what evidence constitutes, and this is what we need. So it's very clear and easy to train that and to get that. And on top of it, it is memory, and we can understand that easily. We don't have to develop ourselves to understand that the house is red or green and that there are 4 or 2 children. No. But what about the complex human relationships between the family, in between the family members of the sitter and the communicator? Here we need clearly an understanding of life, and thereby, unfortunately, an understanding of ourselves. And that means we have to look at ourselves, to look at life, to learn about it, and to be involved in it. Not during the link, but the rest of the time. Only if the medium has the intention, the deep intention of really healing and helping and supporting the sitter and the communicator, and if she's a spiritual medium, even much more beyond that, only then the message will be healing and helpful. Logical, right? So, it's very much your intention as a medium that dictates the quality of the message. Your responsibility and your joy can join and become the joy of spirit. Because the joy of spirit is nothing else but healing, helping, and supporting. That's the innermost core of the divine light which unites all living beings. And that is much more clear in the spirit world. And thereby each and every communicator wishes to contribute to that flow of light. In an individual way, for the sitter and the family. It is being filtered through the subconsciousness of the medium. And if the medium has not learned to really deal with her life, her fears, hopes, wishes, and desires, and to shift them all out of the way, which is possible because you have dealt with it to a certain degree, only then the message of a spirit communicator can be conveyed. Because it might be super simple and super impactful at the same time. Or it might be a little bit more complex and a little bit more deep. Everything is possible. Every situation is different. But every situation has the same underlying basic precepts. The flow of the divine innermost essence of being, which is unconditional love, and manifests itself between human beings in helping, healing, and supporting. In an evidential link, through the communication between the two worlds, through the raising of the family vibration of the communicator and the sitter. The idea that evidential mediumship has been introduced by the spirit world only to prove life after death is a little bit tricky. It is, of course, a basic need of a modern materialistic world. That is true. But imagine you're in the spirit world. Wow, you find a medium and your daughter down there is crying her eyes out because of this and that, and you can give her a message, and the medium just wishes to serve her own belief system. Well, she could do better because she's good medium. So maybe that's annoying or maybe not, I don't know. But of course, every living being in the spirit world, if it's a loved one, a friend, a guide, or a higher being, they do wish to communicate deeper messages to all of us and also to our sitters. That's the nature of life. That's the nature of their nature. And so, the message should be trained through the proper methods, and it should be our innermost wish and our clear intention to deliver the most beautiful, the most healing, and the most deep message ever, every time, without assuming what the beauty, the depth might be. So, I hope that shares something that I learned from the spirit world and the many years of practice in a natural way. They wish to talk not only about memory.